told me whenever I was on vacation, I wanted to buy anything and everything in sight. Like for me, a vacation was not complete unless I bought something. But you guys, like an hour in Miami had me wanting lip injections. And what I wanted to share with you all is that your life can change so much in a year, and a year is long. Oh my God, while it's going on, it feels so long, but then you get to that 1 year later point, and if you can look back and acknowledge how much you've changed and how far you've come, I think that's really beautiful. And maybe as you're watching this, you want to look back on what were you up to a year ago, and how were you feeling, and how has that changed? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another Sunday chat / vlog, mostly Sunday chat today. I am really excited to just kind of update you guys, close up this little Florida chapter, and tell you guys a little bit about what's on my mind, because there is a lot on my mind and I really want to share it with you all. I feel like we can have some interesting conversations in the comments, I hope. So yeah, I just really hope you enjoy this video and let's chat in the comments. Today is Sunday. I don't know when this video will go up, but as usual with the Sunday chats, I would love for you to comment down below what day it is, what are you doing while you watch this video. Like I said, it's currently Sunday. It's actually 8 a.m. and I snuck out. I borrowed the car to come just park and film this video because I am currently staying in Florida with my boyfriend's parents, and it's not a huge house. There's not a lot of places to hide and chat, so I just wanted to come in the car and kind of have a little moment to myself, which I haven't had in the past couple of weeks, and just have this kind of space to like talk with you guys and stuff. So yeah, happy to be here. Let's get into the video. I have a whole bunch of notes on my phone of things I want to talk about. First things first, I just wanted to draw attention to like a couple little things that have been making me really happy lately. I mean, I'm in Florida and it's beautiful. You guys can see like the palm trees. There's a lake right outside where I'm parked. One of these things, like my daily American coffee, has been making me so happy. I just love it so much, and I'm so excited. In my last video that I uploaded, I mentioned how I don't know where to get nut pods in Canada, and so many of you guys came through and let me know of a store in Montreal that sells them, as well as a website, so I'll be able to recreate this at home. The next thing that has been making me so happy is actually my cash envelopes. I have been carrying these everywhere with me as like a little security blanket, and it's been so fun to kind of use them while being on vacation, experience using them in another country. And I don't know if some of you guys at home are going to be like rolling your eyes while you watch this, like, Zoe, get over your cash envelopes, but I swear the more I use these things, the more I love them. And most specifically, it's my new folder that I'm loving too, because it's just, for anyone who didn't see my monthly money video, I got this new folder from the line. It was a gift. They sent it to me. And let me show you the inside. It's monogrammed with my initials, and this is made of premium Saffiano leather. So I don't know, it just feels like I'm carrying around this little piece of luxury, plus the peace of mind that my budgeting gives me. I've never had a budget while on vacation, and I never really cared. Like I was always the type to just like spend and deal with the consequences of being on vacation later, but I've really been loving this. So random, but yesterday, this is the third thing I've been loving. Yesterday I bought this little Summer Fridays lip gloss from Sephora. I've been wanting to try this forever and was always sold out. We went to a Sephora in Miami yesterday. We're gonna talk about Miami later in this video, but went to a Sephora in Miami yesterday and they had it. I got it, and I've just been putting it on like that, like emotional support lip gloss thing, meme, I don't know, but I've really been loving it. And this is the only thing that I've like really bought myself here, so it's gonna be a cute little memory of Florida and a little memory of Miami. Before we get into all of the things on my mind, I really want to thank True Earth for sponsoring this video. You guys, I had some of their newest product sent here in Florida, and we had a little family adventure of testing it out. That new product is dishwasher detergent, dishwasher tabs, and when they told me that they were coming out with this, I was so excited. Like anytime I see that they launch a new product, I get really excited. I kind of geek out because their products are just so amazing. They're a Canadian brand. I love supporting them, and I just find everything that they do is really, really good. You guys might remember that my current dishwasher at my apartment, it doesn't work. So I was really excited to try these and also to try them with my boyfriend's family because his mom is like a neat freak, a cleaning, like she is the cleanest woman I've ever met. And they're really, really kind of obsessed with their dishwasher, like in a good way. So they were really excited to try them too. We had a little family adventure of trying them out. Okay, I'm ready. Where are they?
C'est ça.
It looks like chocolate.
Ouais.
Là, bouge pas, tu mets ça dans le...
T'en brises une?
Ouais, tu mets ça dans le...
Mais voyons donc.
Okay.
OK. C'est juste cette petite affaire-là.
Que tu mets dans la trappe.
We're getting a real test because they don't rinse their dishes.
Regarde comment c'est sale.
So,
C'est très sale.
so it's pretty dirty. I put it in here.
Yeah.
And I trust everything that True Earth does wholeheartedly. Like, I love their products. I mean, I endorse them. But I was getting a little bit nervous because, one, they don't rinse their dishes before they put them in the dishwasher. And I'm like a weirdo. Anytime I use the dishwasher, I will literally wash something with soap before putting it in. I think because like any of the dishwashers I've ever had, like they didn't really work growing up and stuff. And I've just always been used to doing my dishes by hand. So they were like, whenever we come here, they're like, don't rinse the dishes, just stick them in the dishwasher. And then especially for the experiment, like these things were really, really dirty. We had hot chicken sandwiches right before. And so we put everything in. It's really, really simple to use. You basically just break off a tab. It looks like a bar of chocolate. You break off a tab, put it inside the dishwasher, and then you just wait. So we waited overnight. We let the dishwasher run. I think it took like 3 hours. And the next morning we all woke up and were like, how did the dishes come out? And I don't know why I was nervous. Like I said, I love their products, but I think because I had like an audience and everyone was kind of like waiting to see what would happen. But everything came out perfect, sparkling clean, no water dots, like everything was great. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna leave these here for them because they really loved the product. JS's mom was astounded at how little space they take up, which like is just everything about True Earth, like the laundry strips, everything like that. They come in such thin packaging that is recyclable, and it just takes up so little room now in your kitchen, for the laundry strips, in your laundry closet. So yeah, she was mind blown about that. I think we have her converted, which is awesome. These dishwashing detergent tabs are made in Canada. They are bleach-free, chlorine-free, and they're made with natural cleaning ingredients, so there are no extra unnecessary harsh chemicals in your dishwasher detergent. Which honestly is pretty good when you think about it because you're gonna end up eating that stuff, right? Like it goes onto the stuff that we eat off of, so I don't know, I think that gives some peace of mind. The tabs themselves are biodegradable, which is amazing, and the packaging is recyclable, like I said. And once again, it takes up so little space. And I think the thing for me that's really the kicker is their products are comparable to traditional products, let's say that you would buy at like the grocery store or Walmart. So it's kind of a no-brainer to make the switch. So if you guys have a dishwasher, I highly, highly recommend checking out these dishwasher tabs. I'm gonna get some in Montreal for my new apartment, which has a dishwasher, and it's very, very exciting. And I'm just really grateful for True Earth for sponsoring this video. And it was such a fun little experiment to try these here and then now to be able to leave them here for them since they love them. So thank you so much to True Earth for sponsoring. And yes, if you guys want to check them out, Zoey 10 will get you 10% off everything on their site. So laundry, dishwashing, toilet cleaning, tabs, sponges, you name it. At this point, I think I've tried it all and I love it all. I seriously love True Earth. I'm so grateful to be able to work with amazing brands like that. And that kind of brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. We've been here in Florida for a little bit over a week now, 10 days I think we've been here, and I've just been reflecting, and like Jess and I have been talking about like what's changed since the last time we were here, which was about a year ago, and it's mind-blowing how much has changed. Like me personally, me in terms of my career, like him and I, like our relationship, you know, we were dating for maybe half a year when we came last year, and like now we're moving in together. But where do I even begin? I was thinking about all that change, and I was thinking about gratitude and realizing, like, you know, last year, I don't think anything will ever beat that Florida trip last year, because I was in such a funny place, and I feel like I was so naive. I had just lost my job, and I had decided that I'm gonna give being a YouTuber a go for a whole year. I didn't even know that I would be able to get some contract work. I was like, maybe I'll get a part-time job, maybe I'll get a contract. Like, I didn't know what lay ahead, and I think being here, I was kind of in this protective bubble of not reality, which led me to be extremely hopeful and extremely just like happy and excited, and I felt like the whole world was my oyster, and it was a really special feeling. And it was also after that, at the very end of the trip, that I had my first interview with what has now been my copywriting contract for a whole year. So I don't know, it was just like a very important time, and so much happened. My video about losing my job went live while I was in Florida. It actually went live by accident. I don't know if I ever kind of shared that story, but I had it set to go live at noon the next day, but I accidentally put midnight instead of like 12 p.m. midnight instead of 12 p.m. noon. So it went live as I was sleeping, and I woke up to a ton of views, a ton of comments, and I was like so overwhelmed. And that video itself had a big impact on my life, because that, I think, is one of my most viewed videos, and it attracted some amazing new audience, and it attracted some very negative new audience. And so along with all of the feelings of the world is my oyster, I'm so excited to be here, when that video went live, I got so much negative feedback in a way that I just wasn't used to. People saying, like, it was more so after, like, it was after the video went live, people were like, oh, you're in Florida, you're such a dumb bitch. Like, you know, oh, like, Tatiana runs to Miami. And I was like, what the heck? Like, where's all of this coming from? After that, I've learned to navigate the ways of the internet, and straight up, I just don't trust the opinion. I will not listen to the opinion, to the feedback of most men on the internet, because most of them, they don't like to hear a woman talk. If you know, you know, with the monthly bunny videos and stuff. Anyways, I don't let it bother me, but back then, a year ago, I did. And so I started to feel this intense guilt of being here in Florida, when that guilt was so unnecessary. I'm staying for free. Like, I'm staying at my boyfriend's mom's. I'm staying here for free. And the tickets were bought before I lost my job. So what was I supposed to do? Cancel? Like, you know, it didn't make sense why I felt so guilty, but I did. And to be here a year later, zero guilt, because I saved up for the tickets and I paid off the tickets, and once again, we're staying here for free, and I've got my budget. Like, I'm such a new person, and so to just be here guilt-free is something really, really amazing. And I don't know, I just kind of want to wish for all of you guys that, I don't know how to say this properly, but like, living with guilt is such a shitty feeling, and I want for all of you to live guilt-free too. So like, just to enjoy the experiences that you're experiencing. You know, I don't know, I'm not saying it properly. But if you're doing something and it's bringing you joy and it's making you happy, don't let anyone else's opinion, whether it's your parents, whether it's randos on the internet, whatever it may be, don't let anyone else's opinion make you feel guilty or sway you from doing what you want. Like, just, I don't know, I think living guilt-free and doing what you want is super important. The park here is starting to wake up. I see people opening their blinds. People are starting to walk by. It's such an amazing place. We're actually in like it's a kind of like a seniors park. It's like mostly retired people. Anyway, it's a special place, and they're mostly Quebecois. It's a special place. I love it. The other thing that changed so much is now here we are 1 year ago, having passed the 1 year mark of losing my job and being self-employed. That has kind of set me free too, like knowing that I've made it. I did a whole year, and it was such a challenging year. Makes me feel like, oh, I can do it again. I can do another year. Maybe I could do 5 years, you know? It makes me feel more hopeful, and for that I'm really grateful. And I was working, because I've been working while I'm here. I was working on some copywriting stuff, and I was looking out the window, and I'm looking at the lake and the trees, and oh my God, it's so beautiful. And it just kind of smacked me in the face, where I was like, last year I dreamed of this. I would have loved to be a copywriter. I would have loved to, like, I was like, hopefully I'll be a copywriter, and hopefully I'll be a YouTuber, and I'm doing it. And it just smacked me in the face, and I was like, wow. And what I wanted to share with you all is that your life can change so much in a year. And a year is long. Oh my God. While it's going on, it feels so long. But then you get to that 1 year later point, and if you can look back and acknowledge how much you've changed and how far you've come, I think that's really beautiful. And maybe as you're watching this, you want to look back on what were you up to a year ago and how were you feeling and how has that changed? And if you're in a place right now where you're feeling kind of low and maybe you feel a bit lost, you don't know, where's my relationship going? Where's my career going? Trust me, in a year from now, if you like focus on yourself and you just believe in yourself, like your life will change in 1 year from now. I 100% believe that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And like, I don't know. I didn't always think like things were possible for me. I don't know. So yeah, I just feel like I'm at a point where I love what I'm doing on YouTube. I love all of you so much. I love doing copywriting. The sun is like blaring hot and my phone keeps overheating. So I just want to be real though. And like, I was kind of shy to say this because I don't want to seem like I'm like complaining while I'm here in freaking paradise, but I've also had a lot on my mind in other ways. And it's all good things. Like everything is good. It's like the move and like I need to switch my insurance and I need to get insurance for my office and I hate dealing with insurance. It scares me and tax season is coming up. So there's just been a lot on my mind. My TMJ has been off the chains, off the walls. I haven't been able to sleep that well. And it's led to me just feeling really, really tired, really, really exhausted. And so I really wanted to do like a part 3 Florida vlog, but I don't know. It's like I hit a week and I just was like, I can't. I felt so tired. And something that I've learned about myself over the years is, you know how sometimes people will say like, oh, like people are posting on Instagram because they're miserable. People are always taking photos of stuff because they're miserable and they don't want to live in the moment. But I feel like for me, and I've talked about this with friends too, like when I'm truly, truly happy, that's when I want to take pictures and post them. That's when I like notice the beauty of the sky and the trees, and that's when I want to take a photo. That's when I love vlogging the most. Like, it's not a way for me to be miserable and escape by taking photos and videos and posting them. It's truly my way of like being so happy, being in the moment is like, I love this moment. I want to capture it. And so that's why I because I've been so tired, I haven't been as in the moment. And so I haven't been taking as much pictures and videos and stuff. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to share that. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I would love to know your opinion on that. Like, do you enjoy taking photos in the moment, or are you like phones totally away? I'm truly like in the moment. I feel like we all have different ways of expressing our in the momentness. But for me, like if I'm posting a ton on Instagram stories, blah, 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 that's because I'm really, really happy. So there's that. The other thing, I feel like I've learned a very important lesson, like in regards to all of this stuff being on my mind, is I kept referring to Florida and coming here as vacation. But I'm also working. And so I think in my mind, I was like, I'm going to be so zen. I'm going to relax. But like, bitch, when were you planning to work then? Like, I should have taken, my camera is not happy right now. All that to say, I think I've been working. Tuesdays and Thursdays were my working days, and then I was like, I'll edit YouTube videos at night. But like, we've been going out at night. Like, catch me at the Cheesecake Factory at night. So I just didn't plan properly, which has led to me being a little bit stressed. But it's okay, because I'm taking this as a learning opportunity. That I think what would be better is to actually, instead of doing like a few working days here and there, to do a whole week of working. Let's say we're coming here for 2 weeks, a whole week of working and a whole week of not working, so that it's really separated, so that, because working from here is fun. Like, I love it. Working from paradise. Like, I'm so grateful to do it. Like, I don't feel the time passing. I'm like, I love it. So I think it would be better to do a week and then a week. So I learned a valuable lesson. There are the two like big topics of this video. Big topics. Well, two of the big things on my mind that I want to talk about, which I'm going to let my camera cool down before we do. But I really want to talk about Miami specifically, and like self-esteem and stuff, and just some of my observations from spending a few days there. And then I want to talk about vacation spending and like luxury stuff. So yeah, more to come in 2 seconds for you, and I guess like 5 minutes for me.
Yesterday there was sun and there was rain.
back. We're back. I just got a Starbucks and I'm currently in a state of panic, but I feel like before I tell you about my panic, we need to rewind because it's actually Tuesday now. It's Tuesday now. Basically, my camera, oh my God, I'm in so panic, you guys. Okay, basically my camera kept overheating that morning because I was like right in the glare of the sun and the car and everything. And then we had to go, we went to the beach. It was beautiful. I filmed some clips for you guys. And then the past couple of days, I just haven't, well, it's only been yesterday, I guess. Anyways, I wasn't really in the filming mood. I basically got super sunburnt. Maybe you can tell like on my nose. I put makeup on to kind of cover it, but I got super sunburnt at the beach. Got my period, wasn't sleeping well. I was just like, oh my God. I started also feeling really anxious about going home and dealing with the move and insurance and like all of this stuff. Just kind of coming to the realization that vacation is over. Just had me in a bit of a mood yesterday. Today I'm feeling much better, and now I can tell you about my panic. So what is this video? Wait, first let's take a sip. So good. This is pistachio cream cold brew. Okay, so once again, I'm in the car, we're parked. I wanted this video to be fluid. At least something is continuous that we're in the car. Last time I was parked just in a parking lot near, or inside I should say, the park that JS's parents live. Now I'm parked in like a kind of shopping mixed use center here in Aventura. It's so beautiful here. I love it so much. Came here with JS. He's currently doing berries boot camp. I wasn't in the mood to do berries. My period is in one of its stronger days, so I was like, I don't need to work out today. But we're running late, okay? He's driving the car. I have no interest in driving this car. It's not my car. It's a big car. It's a big SUV. And we're running late. There's no time to look for parking. It's really weird parking around here. So he pulls up in front of Barry's. He's like, you're taking over. You take the car, go park it. And he runs into his class to not be late. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because the pressure is on, like, for me to drive this big car that's not mine, that's a relatively new car. I was like, I didn't feel comfortable, so I'm driving like this through the parking lot trying to find parking. And I wanted to be outside because I wanted to film this video and I didn't want to be like just in a parking garage. So anyways, I'm doing all these stupid things. I'm driving in where you're clearly not supposed to be driving in, but I'm so panicked that I'm not reading the signs. I pulled into what's a parking spot that's reserved for like parents. Don't have a parent permit, so okay, I gotta go. Then I pulled in where I am right now, and I'm pulling in, and this car is big, okay? I'm not used to driving big cars like this. I'm so used to driving just my car, which is, I would say, a medium-sized kind of SUV. I drive a Volkswagen Tiguan, the older model, that's not as big as the newer model. Anyways, and I hit the curb. I'm like, shit, because there's no car on that side of me. There's a car on this side, and this car just feels so big that I really stuck to the side in order to not smash the car next to me, because that's like my biggest fear, is like smashing someone else, smashing this car. So I hit the curb. I'm like, shit. I'm trying to go in, out. I'm so close to the car next to me. I'm freaking out. Suddenly I'm off the curb. I'm like, what the heck? Okay, I'm off. I'm good. And I was like, you know what? As long as I stay right here, JS can come and fix this later, because I don't want to mess around. It's not my car. And I don't want to do anything stupid. So I go outside to check how I'm parked. Look at this. Somehow my wheel is in a curve and I'm just perfectly not in the curb, but I should be on the curb. Like, what the heck? How did that work out? I don't know, but here we are, and I'm not gonna move. I'm also not supposed to be here. This is parking for Benesco customers. And I was like, oh, Benesco, that sounds like a bakery. I'll just go in and get something, and then I can park here with a clean conscience. So I walk over to Benesco. It's a bank. It's a bank, so I have no business going in there. So here we are. Let's hope I don't get a ticket. Anyways, this video is so chaotic. I don't know how it could possibly get more chaotic. Should I show you guys my rash? So basically, I got a sunburn. I feel like it's not really showing on camera, but I got pretty badly sunburnt at the beach. Switched sunscreens yesterday. We went back to the beach yesterday, and I'm allergic to that sunscreen. So I've got a rash covering my whole entire body. It's okay. I still am so happy to be here. I'm like, oh, I don't want to leave. Like the reality of going home, going back to like -20 weather, I'm so not here for it. I feel like because I'm still kind of in like somewhat of a working routine and a daily routine here, I could just kind of see myself living here and keeping on in this beautiful weather, and it just doesn't feel fair that I have to live in a place where there's winter. It doesn't feel fair. Okay, speaking of places that we live, I really wanted to, in this video, share with you guys my kind of Miami experience, because this trip was my first time going to Miami. Really, like we went to South Beach for an evening last year when we came, but this was my first time like really spending time there, also being where it's a bit less touristy. So we went, in the last vlog, we went to Barry's boot camp in Midtown. So we were in the kind of Midtown area of Miami, and one of the things, it took me like, you know, we're there for 2 hours, and I start cluing into this is, oh my God, the girls are beautiful. And Montreal is a place where it's a place known for having beautiful girls, beautiful women, but I find there's a lot of diversity in Montreal in terms of like diverse people, also in terms of the way people dress and just the way people look. It's so diverse and everyone is so beautiful that you don't feel like you need to conform to a certain look, because there's just all kinds of different looks and they're beautiful. However, here in Miami, I felt like there was one specific look, and most specifically, I don't know why, it was the lip injections. Like, I felt like every single girl, and maybe it's just where I was, maybe it was just Midtown, maybe it was, you know, kind of just the Barry's boot camp, but I felt like all of the girls I'm noticing have lip injections, and they've got like these like fit bodies, and like I just instantly started comparing myself to them and started right away. I don't know what it is about lip injections, but lip injections, if I see multiple people with lip injections, I start thinking, do I need lip injections? And this is something that has actually plagued me for many, many years, ever since the kind of lip injection craze started. And I've never ever spoken about it on camera, but I was really close to getting lip injections. I really felt like everyone had them. I need them. If I want to be cool, if I want to be pretty, I need to have lip injections. And luckily I've kind of weaned out of that phase. But you guys, like an hour in Miami had me wanting lip injections. And it just kind of got me thinking of like, oh my gosh, like this is me here after an hour. I'm comparing my body. I'm saying, oh, I need to work out more. Oh, do I need lip injections? Oh, I need to dress like this, because everyone was dressed very like athleisure and whatever. And I felt myself comparing. And then my reaction to that comparison was like this feeling like you need to conform, like you need to look like everyone else. And it just made me wonder, like, oh my gosh, if that's what living here, if that's what being here for an hour did to me, what must it be like to live here? Like, maybe everyone has lip injections because people feel similar to me and they feel like they need to conform. And obviously not everyone has lip injections, but it's that kind of thing where when you're fixated on one thing, when you think about purple cars, you only see purple cars. Or you think about, you want a nose piercing, so you suddenly see nose piercings everywhere. Obviously not everyone has a nose piercing, but it feels like everyone does. So that's kind of what happened in Miami, and I was just like, oh my gosh. And you know, I talked about it with JS. I was like, I suddenly feel like inferior almost, like I don't look like a Miami girl. And obviously there's plenty of looks for a Miami girl, okay? I'm really just talking about this kind of perceived little bubble experience that I had. And I just thought it was really interesting. Am I gonna go home and get lip injections? Probably not, probably not, but it really did just kind of make me wonder about stuff like that. And I would love to know if you've ever felt similarly, if you've ever been in a place where suddenly, like, I don't know, I would just love to know if you've ever had a similar experience, because it was definitely interesting and a little bit eye-opening. And there are 2 YouTubers I know who live in Miami or in the Miami area, and they both have lip injections. And to me, I was like, that's the evidence. That's the evidence that Miami equals lip injections. I don't know. And it's like, it's so silly, because obviously you don't need lip injections. Obviously you don't need to have a specific body type. You don't need to have big boobs. You don't need to have a big butt. Like, you can just be you. And I think I love that about Montreal, that like I do for the most part feel very secure there, because of the diversity in looks and in people and just ways of dressing and everything. And yeah, it's easy to feel insecure when you feel like everyone looks, dresses a certain way. I don't know. The other thing I wanted to talk about is just kind of in general, this really struck me last time I was here as well, is the like flaunting of wealth that there is in Florida, whether it's like intentional flaunting or just kind of there. It's crazy, and it's had me reflecting on a lot of things. Like, I grew up in Ottawa, which is, I want to say, a pretty modest city by, let's say, North American standards. Growing up, to me, the fanciest car was a BMW. Like, the fanciest car that people could own was a BMW. And if you drove a BMW, you were rich. And a Porsche was like, oh my God. And just even on the streets of Ottawa, like, people don't really drive Porsches, a Lamborghini, forget it. You know, Maserati, what was that? I don't know what that is. And then I moved to Montreal, and BMWs were like kind of a dime a dozen, and people drive Porsches. I was like, what the heck? People drive, like, in my head, a Porsche is like a sports car. It's like, you know, I never knew anyone to have a car like that. And not only that, but people in Montreal are having Bentleys, and they have Maseratis, and they have Lamborghinis, and it's like, whoa. But none of that can measure up to the cars people have here in Florida. Oh my gosh. The sports cars, like Maserati, I don't even know all of the names of these cars. Like, I just can't keep up. And so that is kind of the first thing that struck me, is driving around and seeing, what are all of these cars, and like, what do these people do to have these cars? How do you have these cars? And then you drive and you see the houses. Oh my God, the houses, they're enormous, they're beautiful. And then you go and you see the yachts, and it's just like, there is money. People have money in this state. Oh my gosh. And good for them. You know what? Good for them. I'm very happy for them. Maybe one day I'll have a boat. But to kind of bring it back down, so we went to two really kind of fancy, expensive shopping malls just to like window shop and look around and people watch. I love doing that. We went to Bal Harbour, and that was kind of one experience. I vlogged it and talked about that. And then we went to, again, back to Midtown in Miami, but I think this was more considered the design district, where there's just like every designer imaginable kind of in this outdoor shopping area in these streets. And there was also a car show going on, so back to those fancy cars. Oh my gosh. And people were spending money. People were going in and they were shopping and they were buying stuff. And there's people, you know, that Blair Waldorf meme of like having all these shopping bags of like these designers and stuff? I just couldn't believe it. And like, there's a lineup to go into the Prada store, there's a lineup to go into the Chanel store, like lineup to go in Louis Vuitton. Like, I couldn't believe it. And on one hand, like, it's just whatever, it's just the way things are. On the other hand, it really makes me wonder, like, what do these people do to have so much money to be able to buy these items? And three, it just kind of got the wheels turning in my head, and it made me start to like be like, oh, I wish I could just have this thing. I wish I could just buy this bag, because for so long I've wanted to be able to buy myself a designer bag. And I know that's materialistic. I know, you know, designers and it's overpriced and whatever, but it's always been something I've really wanted to be able to do for myself, is to buy myself a designer bag. And over the years, I've just never done it, because circumstances have been that, you know, I wanted to do it. It wasn't a good idea when I was working full time. I had loans to pay off, and I figured once I paid off my loans, I would do that, change jobs, earn less money, got laid off. Here we are. And so it's never been that I could afford to buy myself a designer bag. But being there, I guess there's not really a point to what I'm saying, but it just made me think like, ugh, I would really like this. But then it also made me reflect of like, I don't need to be like head to toe. Really what I would like to buy for myself is just like a bag one day. Do you guys remember that Sunday chat where I talked about things I don't understand? Like, I think that's kind of what I'm getting at here, is like these things and people just going and having the means to dress head to toe designer and just buy a new bag on a whim. Or like, I kind of understand the bag because I desire that, like I just said, but it's like the shoes, like I can't fathom that. I don't know. And so it's just, I guess it's just kind of those things that like I don't understand, and like I go and to be in that environment and to see it, it's just like, whoa. The reason we went to that design district was actually because I wanted to go to Aloe Yoga. I've never owned anything from Aloe, and I really wanted to try, and I had set aside $100 for like treat yourself for this trip. And so I thought, okay, maybe if I hadn't spent the money, we're close to the end of the trip, and I was like, maybe I'll buy myself something from Aloe Yoga. So we go in, beautiful store, it's packed, there's tons of people. I see so many things that I would like to buy, but I only had $100. So I was like, okay, I found this bra that I'd been kind of eyeing that I would have really liked, and I needed to try it on, but there was a lineup at the changing room. So we said, let's go, let's walk around, and we'll come back. We're walking around, and I'm telling JS, I'm like, oh, if I had the money, would I buy a Gucci bag or would I buy myself a Louis Vuitton bag? And he's like, you've been talking about wanting this bag for so long. And I'm like, yeah, like I really one day want to be able to buy it for myself. And he was like, Zoey, instead of buying yourself that Aloe Yoga thing, why don't you take the money and just put it aside and actually save up for this purchase? Like, if it's something that you want, just save up for it, and then you can kind of fulfill your dream and buy it for yourself. And I was like, yeah, duh. I think I had this association with seeing all these people buying this stuff, that they just walk in and buy it, and that I need to wait until the day that I can just walk in and buy it, and just walk in and buy this really expensive thing and just whatever, or like buy it and deal with the consequences later. But just like everything else in life, it's something that you can save up for. And so, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save up for it. I'll fulfill my little materialistic dream. And I don't know, I just kind of thought that was an interesting story time, I guess, and so many facets there. So that's my little Miami story time, I guess, of like just kind of my experience, my observations, and then also coming to the conclusion that just because you see other people with stuff doesn't mean, one, that you need it, but two, doesn't mean that you can't have it. Maybe you can just save up for it. I also just started a Pinterest board for myself of like dream bag purchased, so that I can kind of manifest it and motivate myself to keep saving for it, and also figure out what I would want to buy, because whatever I buy, I want it to last me for years and years and years and be something that I'm gonna love for years and years and years. The last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is a little kind of vacation shopping savings hack that I discovered. Oh my God, you guys, speaking of the cars and the wealth and whatever, do you see this red car? Not that guy. The red car behind me. It's like this fancied out G-Wagon. Like it's exactly proves my point. So something that I realized this trip is that I really haven't had a lot of desire to like shop for clothing or to shop for kind of anything. Like the fact that I haven't, one, spent, let alone overspent on my treat yourself budget is actually pretty crazy, because old me, like a year ago, I was pretty good because I had just lost my job and I was being like very, very careful. But old me, whenever I was on vacation, I wanted to buy anything and everything in sight. Like for me, a vacation was not complete unless I bought something. And not only that, but I wanted to go into every single store, especially stores that like we didn't have back home. And I would just like, oh, this is a cute sweater. This is a cute t-shirt. These are cute pants. And I would just want to buy stuff. And I still love clothes. It's not that like my love of clothing or fashion really has changed. Like I still love clothes, and I love, I love dressing up. I love creating outfits. However, what I've realized, and I was just kind of reflecting on this, is by knowing my stores and by knowing the stores that I like to shop at, that fit me well, that are, of good quality, that last, I actually save so much money, because rather than going into every single store in the mall and wanting to buy something, there's really only a handful of stores that I, one, even want to walk into now, and two, would kind of allow myself to buy from. So I think a good example of this is Gap. Like I get targeted ads with stuff from Gap all the time. Their stuff looks really cute, but I just don't consider Gap as one of my stores right now. So even if something looks cute, I just tell myself, oh, Gap isn't one of my stores right now, so I'm not going to buy it. I feel like right now my stores are Garage, H&M, especially in the fall, winter. I feel like they have really good sweaters. I really like Princess Polly more in the summertime. They have really cute sets and basics. And straight up, if I think back over the past couple of months, I think those are the only clothing stores I've actually bought from. Lululemon for activewear. Oh, and Aerie for like activewear bras and underwear. Like those are my stores. So if I see something I like at Gap, I just tell myself, I don't know how this is gonna fit me. I don't know if this is gonna match with the other stuff in my closet. And it just prevents me from going into stores and kind of spending willy-nilly. Zara is an easy one that I could fall into. Like I find Zara has really cute stuff. I see like influencers wearing stuff and like style people on Instagram. But I just tell myself, anytime I've ever bought something from Zara, it doesn't fit me right. It doesn't last in my closet. So I'm there, just don't buy it, Zoey. That being said, if I see something cute from like H&M, I do allow myself to treat myself and get something like that because I know the quality, I know the fit, and I know how it's gonna last. Plus I know that it's gonna match with other stuff in my closet. So that's my little hack. Maybe that's helpful for you guys. I don't know. I'd love to know if you feel like you have your stores and what they are. This was last summer, I mentioned Club Monaco as like one of my dream kind of stores that when I was younger, I used to think like when I've made it, I'm gonna shop at Club Monaco. And you guys told me some of your like dream stores like that. And I looked and I was like, oh my gosh, so nice. So I'd love to know like where you're kind of shopping right now. If you're into clothes and all of that, I would love to know. Not that I, not that I need more, but I just love, I love getting inspo. And I feel like my stores will kind of change and have changed over the years. Like I used to love Forever 21 in university. Forever 21 was my everything. It doesn't even exist anymore. So over the years, I think as my style changes and all of that, my stores will change, but always having that little core kind of nub, that core group. What is wrong with me today? That core kind of group of stores prevents me from going all over the place, spending money on things that just aren't going to last in my closet. And it's also kind of nice because while you're on vacation, I used to just want to shop. That's all I wanted to do. But it takes the focus away from shopping on vacation, which is kind of nice. That being said, I'm currently in summer mode and I feel like when I go home, I have to transition back into winter mode, which is going to suck. But new outfits to get inspired by. Like in my head, I'm going home and I'm going to be able to keep wearing stuff like this, but it's not the case. It's going to be going back to sweatsuit season. So anyways, speaking of going home, you guys, I'm going to end this vlog here. I'm just going to go wait for JS to get me out of this predicament that I parked myself into. This vlog was random. This vlog was all over the place. This video vlog, Sunday chat. I hope you enjoyed it. Nonetheless, once again, let me know in the comments what you're up to, what day is it while you're watching this. I can't believe this video took a couple days to get done, but alas, I love you so much. If you watch this video to the end, I really, really appreciate you. Let's have some fun and comment a little coffee emoji if you watched to the end. I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. Next video, we'll be getting ready to move back home in Montreal. So I will see you guys then. I love you. I love you. I love you. Bye.